to The Practical Path, a podcast for personal and spiritual growth. Every week, another step along the path toward a more peaceful, happy life. A life where you grow into the best possible version of yourself, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Now, let's get started down the path for today. And welcome. This is indeed The Practical Path, a podcast for personal and spiritual growth. Your host, Bill Sklodowski, here along with co-host and friend Vicki Wagoner in Blue Ridge, Georgia. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. More on that in a minute. This is episode or path step number 57. Our path is expanding as we go. So, speaking of which, I wanted to start with something a little bit different this week, and I think we're going to do it every week. I want to give our friends and listeners a quick, almost like Sesame Street, kind of a word of the day. Mm-hmm. Today's show is brought to you by the letter P, or, remember how they used to do that on Sesame Street?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, brought to you by this letter and this number, right? And they always had the little thing about the number and the letter and all that stuff.
Yep.
For those of us on the practical path, I want to do a word of the week that kind of will helpful. Basically, it's a word to center ourselves and our listeners and friends, a word that can kind of give you a little doorway into some deeper thoughts as we dig into the show. So today's word is presence.
I like that.
And I don't mean Christmas presents. I mean presence. Presence. Yes. Means being fully here.
Yes.
So much of our attention drifts into the past or in the future. Presence is about noticing where you are right now and actually showing up for your own life in this moment.
Yes, I like that a lot. Mm-hmm.
There was an old movie, and I forget everything about the movie except they came up with the sentence or with the idea of 3 words: be here now.
Oh, yep.
I don't remember where that was from, but it's good. Presence means being fully here. Presence is a gift you give others. When you put down the phone, make eye contact, and really listen, people feel valued. Presence communicates love and respect without saying a word.
Yes. That is so important.
I think and I notice that so much, and I'm not trash talking my young friends and neighbors here in the college town of Gainesville, Florida. But when I see young people, it doesn't matter. Walking the streets, walking their dogs, walking around Walmart, they all have their phones to their face.
Oh.
All the time. And it's like, okay, can you talk to somebody else?
Yeah.
Without being on the phone? Anyway, that's
And to use your word, can you be present?
Can you be present?
Mm-hmm.
Presence is being fully here. It's a gift you give to others, and presence brings peace. Anxiety often lives in the future. Regret lives in the past. When we return to the present moment, even for a breath or two, we step outside of that stress.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think that's something you encourage people to do, is just, you don't have to worry about stuff that's going to happen or it has happened. I think it's like right now, what's going on right now?
Yeah. Be here right now. Like you said, be in the present moment, the presence of being aware of what's going on around you and enjoying that moment.
Absolutely. Presence can be practiced. It does not come automatically. It's like a muscle. Meditation, mindful breathing, simply pausing before you respond are ways of building that capacity. And I know that's my lesson, because as somebody who spent 25 years talking on the radio, it was more, I'm not going to say more. It was very important to know what was going to happen next and what you were going to say next, because on the radio, a pause, an opening, or we used to call on the radio dead air, was literally dead. I mean, it was literally death. It was literally like, you can't let that happen. There has to be some sound going on all the time. And if I'm talking, that sound is my voice. So I better keep talking. So I need, with my friends and those that I are close to, I need to practice that ability to allow
Mhm.
them to speak. And I've even noticed that between you and I when we're talking on this show that I'll need when you're either nodding or thinking I can see you processing something. It's like, all right, you don't have just let her give it a minute. She's going to say something. Right? I mean, it's true.
True.
Last but not least, presence is power. When you are present, you make better decisions, you connect more deeply, you experience life more fully. It's not about doing more, it's about being more.
Yes.
Love that.
Absolutely.
Today's word is presence. Presence is fully here, a gift you give to others. It brings peace. You can practice it. If you suck at it, you can practice it. But most importantly, it is your own personal power at work. You make all good decisions, you connect better with people and the experience of life, all of that.
Yes,
Presence.
absolutely. Very important.
There you go. There you go.
And
Well,
I also feel it's being honoring whoever you're engaging with, and them listening to you and then you listening to them and that's where, it all comes together and the respect and the honoring and it doesn't always mean you have to agree with everything they say, yet if that's what they feel, that's theirs, and like I said, honoring it.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and yes, you don't have to agree because we all have our different opinions about things, or we all have a different, shall we say, interpretations of the facts.
Yes.
Especially nowadays in this world.
Oh boy.
I, d- I, hi, my name's Bill, and I'm guilty of that, and I'm going to tell you how right now. I was watching. I watch I'm a car guy. I love cars. I love cars and SUVs, and whatever. If I had the money, I'd buy a new one probably every year just to have the latest and greatest. But I don't, so thankfully for that, I keep my money safe. But I was watching a review of a young man talking about a certain car,
Mhm.
and he mispronounced the name of the car, the actual brand name. I mean, not the brand name, like Honda, Volkswagen, Mercedes, whatever. The name that goes with it, like instead of Corvette, he said something different, whatever. I'm not going
Mhm.
to say it because I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but he mispronounced it, and I can't let that go. I can't.
Hi.
So I put a comment on his video and I kind of spelled it phonetically. And
Mhm.
I said, I said, really? You pronounced it this way? Question mark, question mark. Are you
Mhm.
sure? And he actually responded back and he said,
Oh,
yes. What's the problem? I said, that's a mis, and I wrote back and I said, so this went back and forth 3 or 4 times. I
oh
said,
my God.
all I said was simple mispronunciation. And
Mhm.
he wrote back simply, no.
Oh.
And I wrote back because I can't let it go. But I did, and this is my point. I
Okay.
didn't get all huffy. I didn't get all, you're an idiot. I wrote back, respectfully disagree.
Mhm.
And then I added the link because if you go online to like dictionary.com, yes, it's a real website. If you go to dictionary.com and you put in a word, it will also pronounce it for you. You can turn up your
Oh.
speakers, you push the play button, and it will read the word back to you.
Oh.
And I went to dictionary.com and I put in the word because it's a real word. The name of the car is a real word. Actually, it was, well, I'm not going to say. It's a real word in the English language. It's not a made up word, like Corvette is a made up word. Um, well, not really, but that's a whole other discussion for a whole other day. And I sent the link to the dictionary.com page that pronounces the word correctly. So I said, respectfully disagree, link. Here it is. And now, if he's interested, he can click the link and hear the word pronounced correctly.
Yes. Well, I think that was really thoughtful of you because how many other people will, come after him and go, you didn't say it right, blah,
You
blah,
didn't
blah.
say it right. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I'm actually thinking, if I'm the car manufacturer and I hear you mispronounce the name of my car, I'm going to be like, hey, you want to get any more cars of ours to review? You probably ought to learn to say the name. So I didn't say that, but I just had to put in my 3.5 cents worth.
I think you're actually doing the guy a favor because,
I
like you say, that could kind of, shadow, you know, getting more cars or the guy, the owner's going, hey, why am I, dealing with this guy if he can't
right,
even pronounce my name of my car,
right.
you know? So
And
I
the
think
way
it's
these
good.
and the
No,
way
I
these
think,
reviews work is like it's like Bill here in Gainesville is going to review the latest. I don't know. I said Corvette. Not that I'd ever run a review of Corvette. Well, yes, I would. But it's like, hey, thanks to Gainesville Chevy for lending me the Corvette for the day, so I could, and he does that. I mean, that's a standard practice. You
yeah.
borrow the car for a day or two from the local dealer, and you go out and you film your review and you talk about it and all that. So if I'm the local dealer that lent him this particular car,
Hmm?
I would want him to say the name right.
Absolutely.
So yes, Miss Vicky, I'm going with the fact that I did him a favor. That's what I'm.
I believe so. I mean, if he's what else is he maybe mispronouncing? And maybe that might cost him his job.
Well,
I mean,
I don't
something
think it's
like
anything. I
that.
don't think it's going to be anything that big or bad. But and yet all the things we've talked about to make nice with the car dealer that lends you a car for a day.
Yeah.
I, again, the mechanics of it. Ooh, see what I did there? The mechanics of it are not the important part. The part to me that was important, that I was able to disagree with this person, but do it in a way that didn't start a fight. Hopefully,
That you were being, mindful of helping him to go, okay, if you're going to be doing this, here's what it sounds like.
right.
So
So
hopefully he appreciates what you did.
and there you go. So and you've just given me next week's word of the week is going to be mindfulness. I'm gonna mindfulness is next week's word of the week because that's what we're doing. So anyway, that's the word of the week. Today's word. Before we got completely off track by Bill trying to
Oh,
start a
we
fight. No, I didn't start a fight.
no,
The
we
presence.
stayed
So
presence.
this week, presence is your word. Do that. So there
Mhm.
you go. I feel better now.
You got it off your
I
shoulders. Good.
got it off my shoulders. Thank you. I
Glad we
did.
could all help you.
That's so awesome. That is so awesome.
I
One
think
other
it's
tidbit of news is, of course, that I have a lady friend in my life, and
Mhm.
she actually had an oracle card reading with a certain Vicki Wagoner this past week. How
Yeah,
cool was that?
that was awesome. Mary is a lovely person.
She is a lovely person. She
Yeah.
really is. And
And
and and
and I,
she go
yeah.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say she's I'm not going to say she's new to all of this, but in the spiritual business, in the personal development space, in the personal and spiritual development thing, yeah, she's pretty new to a lot of the things that you and
Okay.
I talk about with our friends and listeners on the show. The thing, like, if she were to look at my bookshelf, I'm pointing because it's behind me in my office here, she would be like, "Really? What are all these things?" So when she went through that process with you, it was eye opening would be an understatement. Eye
Okay.
opening.
Wow. Because I could feel that she was very spiritual. She was very aware and she knows things and senses things. So I'm really surprised that she hadn't done it before.
As far as I know, this was her first experience with any
Oh,
kind of, and I'm not a huge fan of the word, but I don't have a better word for it. Any kind of reading. We talk about like if you go to a medium, a psychic medium, or you go to anything, it's called a reading, right? I mean, there's really no better word for it. So
mhm.
this was
That's
her
what-
first, as far as I know, her first experience with having a reading of
oh,
any kind.
oh, didn't know that.
I
That's
think so.
wonderful.
I'll ask her.
Yeah,
I'll ask her, and we can
yeah.
talk about that on the show next week.
Oh,
But
thank
she
you.
had quite the experience. Vicky,
Hmm.
of course, used her favorite wolf cards,
Oh,
which we
yes.
love. It's
Oh, yeah, they're powerful.
powerful. I don't know of anybody else using that. And again, for what you do, well, tell us
Mhm.
what you do. I mean, it involves cards, like a deck of
Yes.
cards, but they're not like something that you would play gin rummy with, right?
No, they're oracle cards, and what they have is pictures on them, and they have a description of what that you know specific card is. But yet I don't read the messages. I feel the energy of the person next to me and what the card is representing. So when I do that, I just trust, what comes out of my mouth. And people will say, "Do you remember when you said?" And I go, "No,
No, right?
no, it just comes out of my mouth. And, as long as you do, that's what's important. I'm simply the messenger."
Right.
But I love doing it because it helps people see things lots of times from a different perspective. It builds their confidence. I help them to look at the past and see what gifts came from it instead of, the pain and the sorrow that came from it. What are the gifts that came from it that inspires you to keep moving forward?
Right.
So, and like I said, whatever comes out, that's what I get. And yeah, I just love it. It's my passion. It's my joy. I love seeing people, like shift within, and sometimes it's can be 15 minutes. I do 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and an hour. And even in 15 minutes, the shift that people feel is unbelievable.
Right.
It just sometimes I'm like, whoa, myself, I'm like, whoa, that was really good.
Right. Right. And I think in the case of my friend, I think your reading for her was more confirmation of what she knew about her past and the kind of the things that the factors that shaped her into who she is today.
Yes, yes.
I'm sure there's a lot of that you do with people, but I
Mhm.
I think for her it was especially powerful because she's had not the best of upbringings,
Yep.
and the you were able to tell her, oh well, this because you did that, now that means this, that
Yes.
here.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
anyway, if someone else in our listening audience would like to find out more about what you do and all of that sort of thing, and maybe even schedule their own reading, how would they get in touch with you?
Well, they can call or text 239-248-0586 or email me at Vicki, Vicki, Wagoner, Wagoner 53 at gmail.com.
There you go. And of course, yours truly, Bill, is along with being this podcast host, also does some videos on YouTube about keeping
Mhm.
you safe online and using your phone and your computer safely, and how to use it, how to get the most out of it, and all that sort of
Oh,
thing. So just go over to
definitely.
YouTube, do a search for Bill's iPhone tips, and you'll find the guy in the red shirt. That's me. You'll find
And
all
very,
good stuff.
very good at it.
Thank you. I try. I
Very.
try. Coming up next, we have, of course, our word of the day. We're going to start that as a regular thing. I like it. I think it does
Yes.
help to kind of bring a little focus to and mindfulness. That's our
Hmm.
word next week. But anyway, in the bigger picture, mindfulness of how of where we're at this week, and it's kind of almost like pulling a card out of a deck. It's a random word that I'm actually just gonna like do a quick search on Google or something, or maybe even Chat GPT, and say, here, find me some words, and see what
Yes.
comes up. See what comes up. It's fun. Coming up next, our big topic of the day, and I love this one: complaining rewires your brain for negativity
Oh,
and how to
yeah.
stop it.
That's the good part.
How complaining rewires your brain for negativity and how to stop it. We'll talk about that when we come back. Hey, it's Bill stepping out of the studio for a quick second. On the podcast, one of the things we talk about a lot is motivation, the desire to get things done in life. It might be physical stuff, losing a few pounds, getting a better job, finding a great relationship, Or it might be more of what I like to call internal things, finding ways to feel better about yourself or life in general. Well, to help our listeners along that particular path, we've prepared a helpful, simple guide for personal motivation. It's called Flipping the Switch: How to Create Motivation at a Moment's Notice. I'd like to send you a free copy, along with some other special bonus goodies. Bonus, you say? Well, yes, kind of an unadvertised in-store special. What is it? Well, you'll just have to find out for yourself. So, do this. Head over to the website, www.thepracticalpathpodcast.com. Yep, the same name as the podcast itself. Put in your email and we'll immediately send you to the free download. We'll also let you know about upcoming podcast episodes and other behind-the-scenes information. Again, just head over to the website, www.thepracticalpathpodcast.com, and get your free guide to boosting your personal motivation. I'm sure you'll find it helpful and, dare I say, practical. Now, back to the show. Welcome back. Thanks again for joining us on The Practical Path. Today we're on step number 57 along the path. And if you're enjoying listening to The Practical Path, if it is giving you some ideas on how to live a better, more peaceful life, which is what it's all about in my book, feel free to stop by wherever you download this podcast from. Apple, Spotify, YouTube Music, iHeartRadio, doesn't matter. We're all over the place. Leave us that 5-star review. And if you would like to join the conversation, feel free to head over to our Facebook page. Just do a search for The Practical Path Podcast. You kind of have to search for the whole thing because there's a lot of podcasts out there. The Practical Path Podcast. You'll find our page where we upload the newest show every week, and we put some comments and questions, and we just enjoy that. So anyway, there you go. So, and I know Vicki Wagoner puts it on her own Facebook page as well, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. That's good.
Yep. Love sharing it.
Today, the big story for the day, how complaining rewires your brain for negativity and how to stop it.
Sounds good.
Right?
Yeah.
Complaining is not, and again, I did some research on this and I found some talking points and all that. The big takeaway, the big kind of picture, the big picture idea, complaining is not just a harmless vent, although we can do that, that's fine. It reinforces brain circuits that favor negativity. But, here's the empowering part, through mindful awareness and intentional gratitude, one of our favorite words, you can reshape those brain pathways. The brain's wiring is flexible, no matter how old you are. I just added that. The brain's wiring is flexible, so if you want to build a mindset of resilience, start by simply noticing when you're complaining and then switch lanes.
I love that. Switch lanes.
Switch lanes. I do. Now,
no, it's a good point.
And when, like I said, a harmless vent. So there's a difference, I think, I feel, you tell me what you think.
Okay.
That I am allowed to vent for a few seconds when something cheeses me off. When somebody cuts me off in traffic, when I miss a pickleball shot that I always make and I miss it, I can vent at myself. I'm not venting at my partner. I vent at myself. I can vent at another driver. I can vent at my cat when he coughs up another hairball. I don't have a cat. I'm just making that up. But I think, so yeah, right? I mean, wouldn't you say that it's okay to have a moment?
Oh, have a moment.
Have a moment.
Get it out. And then step back and go, okay, what's the bigger picture?
Right.
What can I do now?
Right. And if there's nothing you can do, because it's entirely possible that there's nothing to do. I mean, somebody cuts you off in traffic, you vent for a split second. What am I going to do? Nothing. I'm not going to do anything. It's over. It's so done. I think that's the other important step along the way is to recognize, is there anything to be done about this? And if not, okay, I'm done with it. File it away and I'm done with it. Right?
Yep. Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. That's from Frozen, right? That's for you Disney movie people out there. Let it go. Let it go. So anyway, how complaining can, however, rewire your brain for negativity and how to stop. So this is based again on a blog post, and we will list it in the show notes. But the bullet points are: complaining. Number one, complaining does indeed reshape your brain.
Yeah.
When we complain repeatedly, and it's
Oh,
not just venting, when we have something that we're like dog with a bone stuck
oh
on,
yeah.
complaining, whatever, we reinforce negative thought patterns in our brain. Neuroscience, yes, we do science on this show, calls this experience dependent neuroplasticity. Wow.
Holy smokes.
I know, right? Big word. I'm surprised I could say it. But basically, what it means is as you keep going down the same road in your
Mhm.
brain
Yes.
with anything, with you know negativity or positivity,
Hmm.
that thinking pattern gets reinforced over time.
Yeah.
And one of the big guys that I love to follow is Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's
Oh
written a
yes.
hundred books about this
Mm.
very topic, and
Yep.
his line is very simple, and that is brain cells, neurons that fire together wire together. You keep sending the same signal down the same path, you build
Yep.
more of that. It's like a roadway. It's like a roadway that starts off as a bike path, and then it just gets bigger and bigger and more traffic and more
Mhm.
traffic, and pretty soon you got semi trucks traveling down the road here because it's we've
Sure.
built a bigger and bigger road.
Right. Yep.
So anyway, that's the way negativity works. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of important to not do that. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
I think and Dr. Joe talks about that too, is the way that we break that again is the mindfulness of it, is like, oh, I'm
Mhm.
doing that thing again.
Yes.
And what you just said, as far as step back, look at
Hmm.
it, now what?
Now what? Make a choice.
And what am I choosing?
Well, you're choosing to look at it from the perspective of how is it affecting me? How is it controlling me? And I'm allowing this to just make me angrier. So taking a moment, and I when I feel like that, I like to go out into nature because nature is just is, and it's like a balm to your soul. So looking at it from the perspective of why am I allowing it to affect me like this?
Mm-hmm.
What am I holding on to? What is pushing it on? Maybe some memory that you had pops up, something that you haven't dealt with. And so, like you said, it's almost like you're feeding the anger, you're feeding the hurt, you're feeding the confusion. So you have to stop and go, why am I allowing this to control me?
Oh, I
Is
like that. I like that idea that that if we let it,
Mhm.
the thoughts, the emotions, the whatever, they actually are those things. I'm kind of separating me, Bill, from the emotions I might be feeling in the moment. I'm kind of to me, and I think there's some science behind that. I know
Oh, I
there's
know.
some spirituality behind that.
Oh,
That
yes.
you, and by you I mean all of us,
Yeah.
Bill, by you are not your thoughts.
No.
You, I mean, you and I say no, of course not, but a lot
No.
of people don't.
Well, we do sometimes.
Right. But a lot of people don't really recognize that it's like
Yeah.
that thought just came through my mind for a moment, but that's not me. That's just a thought that reared its ugly head
Mhm.
in my head for a while, and I let it live there for a while, and now, okay, like you said, what am I going to do with that now? What am I going to do with that thought? And sometimes the answer is you don't have to do anything with it, right?
Sometimes.
Or well, I see you thinking there. What would you suggest for that process?
Well,
Something
you
comes
can,
up, I recognize, oh wait, I'm just having this thought. Now what?
yeah. Well, you can, talk with somebody about it, or being your own best friend, talk about it with yourself. Like, why am I allowing this to bother me? This is something from the past. And what is it trying? Sometimes it's like, what is it trying to tell me? It's trying to get your attention.
Right.
You can write about it. I mean, you can take, And I've done this. I've taken a pillow and, just kind of beat the heck out of it, to get that energy out of me.
Right.
And then just sit down and go, this maybe it's something from the past, or maybe something like you said, somebody cut you off or something like
Right.
that. But it's like, why am I allowing it to control me? I'm bigger than that. I'm stronger than that. I'm wiser than that. So it could be something, and it goes way back. And I talk to when I do, readings with people, I'll go, what happened in your childhood?
Right.
And sometimes something like that happens. It's triggering something in your childhood, which again, to me, it's like giving you the offering of it's time to look at it, time to shift it. You've been carrying it for all these years. Maybe the universe is going, okay, it's time to look at it, shift it, think it, and move forward.
Right. And I think a big factor in all of this, and again, it's going to be up to you. And when I say you, I mean all of our friends and listeners
Mhm.
individually to decide, is this thing that's causing me to complain, to have negative thoughts, whatever, however you choose to think about today's topic is complaining. So is this thing that has me complaining, is it something that's just it was something brief that happened today that'll be gone and forgotten in 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Or, as you've said, is it something bigger that
Yep.
might have a deeper connection, a
Right.
deeper roots? The roots go deeper than
Yes.
just somebody cut me off in traffic today. I mean, I think we're all smart enough to recognize that if somebody cuts you off in traffic, it's over. It's 5 minutes. You got the radio is on. Your next song comes on. You're whatever.
Right.
The things change. But having said that, I also recognize that sometimes we have things we complain or worry about that it's like, oh, here I am doing that thing again. Like I said,
Again. Yes.
so part of it is being aware of a big thing, little thing, worth
Mhm.
worrying about, not worth worrying about.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
And that's what you said. It's there now. You've got things that you can actually look at and start to catalog or take stock of. Is this something that I need to worry about or whatever? Not worry about. Is this something that I can do something about?
Right. Like
Right.
processing, are you ready to process it? You're ready to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, I truly do feel that sometimes the universe does things to get our attention because
We talked a lot about that last week, and it's so true. Yeah.
yeah. Because it's almost like you stockpile things, and then all of a sudden it's like something comes up and it's like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that. And I didn't realize it was controlling me and, hurting my feelings or making me angry or something.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody does something to you, that's the opportunity to sit down and go, I just want to have a talk with you. Why did you say something like that? Because it hurt my feelings or it made me angry. Can we just talk about it, and get
Mm-hmm.
it out? Like, but, couples, you know, we all have our different, personalities. And sometimes, a partner or a friend or, a spouse will say something and it triggers something.
Right.
So taking that opportunity to go, hey, let's sit down with this and let's work this out.
Right. Right.
So maybe,
Right.
like I said, maybe it's something you've been holding on to. So that moment gives you the opportunity to go, wait a minute, we have to clear this up.
The second point of all of this, and by the way, we're reviewing a blog post, how complaining rewires your brain for negativity and how to stop. And
Hmm.
we were just talking about how this all your brain like takes all this in and keeps doing it. Number
Hmm.
two, a very similar point in the second point, which is you get better at what you practice,
Hmm.
even negativity.
Yeah, that we don't want to get better
We don't
at.
want to get better at this. Your brains work. And we
Mhm.
talked about the roadway thing, like it's like, the blog post even mentions that, the image of a road, a country road with the ruts being worn deeper and deeper as, cars and trucks go by. And it's like pretty soon it's unusable because the ruts are so deep. Well, your brain, unfortunately, or
Oh,
fortunately, works the same way. The
yes.
more we do the loop of complaining and worrying, etc.,
Mhm.
the easier it becomes to kind of default to that way of thinking.
Oh, definitely.
It's kind of like you've always done it this way. So guess what? You're going to keep doing it that way. And for better or for worse, you don't think about it like, well, this is just my way of thinking. You don't, unless you're really good at stepping back in the moment, you don't realize that it's like, wait, I'm thinking this way again, and it's the way I thought about it a year ago and the way I thought about it 10 years ago
10
and
years
all of that.
ago.
So so anyway, you like any other sport, baseball, football, pickleball, you get better at what you practice. And if you
Yes.
practice being negative at things, that's not so good. So
Yeah.
anyway, you might want to practice at being good at things, or not being good, at being mindful of things, etc.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
talk more about the getting out of these loops, of these habits,
Mhm.
etc. as we go.
You're right. Yeah.
I just again and again and again and again, almost every show we come up with this. We hit the idea of being mindful of something,
Oh,
of being
definitely.
aware of what you're doing, and it
Hmm.
doesn't have to be in the exact moment, but let's say that day
Yes.
to have to have the awareness of something happened today, and oh
Mhm.
yeah, it's the same. I had the same reaction that I've had for the last 10 years.
Yes. Yeah.
Mindfulness. Mindfulness is a tough thing. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick. I've got 4 or 5 more bullet points here to talk about our main topic of the day: how complaining rewires your brain for negativity, and hopefully how we can put an end to it. But first, let's take a quick break. So go refill your coffee, do whatever you need to do. We will be right back. Welcome back. This is The Practical Path, a podcast for personal and spiritual growth. And we are on step number 57 today. That's a
Oh
long
boy.
time. I know it's a long time. So, anyway, we've been talking about how complaining rewires your brain for negativity and hopefully offering some ideas on how to stop that sort of
Right.
thing. Remember, long time ago, there was a Bob Newhart comedy actor. You have to be our age to probably know who Bob Newhart is.
Yep. He's
Was
great.
on Saturday Night Live, and on one of his shows, on one of his sitcoms, he played a psychiatrist or psychologist or whatever that is. Puts you on the couch and makes you talk about your feelings. And on Saturday Night Live, he did the same thing. He played a
Oh,
skit where they had people come into his office and he just had like a tip jar on the desk where his like sessions were 25 cents. And they're like, 25 cents? How can you charge so little? He goes, tell me your problem. And they said, well, I have these negative thoughts every day when I go out and I, do this, and this, and I'm doing it. And he goes, okay, stop doing that. 25 cents, please. If only it were that easy. If
yes.
only. So,
Well, think of it. We started with the word presence, right? So
right,
it fits right into be there in that present moment. Take a moment to step back, step out, find a quiet space and go, okay, I want to make peace with this. I want to, be present with this, you know, problem that keeps coming up and I keep reacting to it. So just make that conscious awareness of, okay, today's the day I'm going to look at this. I'm going to see where does it stem from? Where, it's like like a tree. A tree starts as a little seed and then it grows. Well,
sure,
same thing with our thoughts. If we keep
right,
it long enough, it's going to grow and it's going to get huge. So if
right,
you stop and go, okay, wait a minute, let me look at this. What is really going on? What am I really upset about? Or what am I really hurt by? And how can I change that to empower myself, to make myself feel better, to be in a better mood?
right, right.
And
So, yeah, to use your little tree idea there, yes, if we have a certain thought, a certain way of thinking, and we
yeah,
continue to water it by
oh,
doing it
yes,
over and over again, yeah, pretty soon it grows into a big tree,
big tree. And it's a big problem.
a big problem.
If you
Yeah,
can catch it and, sometimes, you're doing something and all of a sudden you get this thought, well, hold on to it. Take a moment, stop what you're doing, step back and go, okay, why is it getting my attention? What is it that I need to look at? How am I hurting myself? How am I hurting somebody else? So,
And that's because we just don't usually pay attention to that sort of a thing, which
mhm, this is what it's
steers
all
us right to
about.
the third point of how our complaining rewires our brain and hopefully how to stop it. Number three,
Mhm,
we often drift into what is called a default mode when we complain.
mhm,
Constant complaint keeps us in an automatic knee jerk reacting mind where we
mhm,
simply replay old patterns, exactly what we've been talking about.
mhm.
Breaking that loop can bring us back to a more mindful, responding mind that thinks about things, where we choose how we react instead of auto reacting. Auto reacting. I like that.
Yes. Yes, auto reacting is that's what a lot of people do. And I'm human and I'm being honest. I have those moments.
Sure.
Go, okay, wait a minute. Why am I going through this again? Let me just
Right.
step back and look at it.
Right. And again, the mindfulness to be aware that I did that. And
Hmm.
again, it doesn't have to be like right now. You don't have to yell at the dog. I'm just using an example.
Yeah.
And then go, oh wait, why did it? When I yell at the dog, I have a good reason. So never mind. when I
Okay, something
when
else.
I criticize myself for
Yes.
something I did or did not do, am I aware of it in the moment? Usually not. I'm so
No.
PO'd at myself that
Hmm.
I don't stop to think. And yet, later tonight, sitting on the couch watching a little mindless TV, I might take 5 minutes during a commercial break to go, how did today go? Oh, yeah, I had that moment where I was really mad at myself about this thing. Did I just react out of automatic did I go back to the default
Auto.
mode of
Yeah.
reacting in a certain way because that's what I normally do? Oh yeah, I kind of did. Oh, okay, how can I, now you're thinking about changing the pattern. There you go. So
Yeah.
yeah, which leads us to number 4 and 5, which are kind of some of the ways out of this, which is number 4, mindfulness helps
Mhm.
us halt that downward spiral by
Yes.
catching ourselves in the act of complaining. Okay, you might not do it in the moment, but you could do it that day. By
Right.
catching ourselves in the act of complaining without judgment and simply pausing, we can gain good awareness. Okay,
Mhm.
gee, look, I'm complaining again. That pause is the magic moment and the first step toward changing the pattern. And
Yes.
again, we come back to the presence, the mindfulness, all of that stuff that we talk about on this show every week. And we're not saying you have to be it. Yeah, I mean, you're not a guru. Well, you might be a guru. I hope you are if you're listening to this show. To be exactly in that moment to go, I'm doing that thing again right now. I'm doing it. No, maybe not. Maybe you do it tonight.
Yeah.
You review your day. You have a moment where you sit back. I mean, whatever. Maybe when you're brushing your teeth or you're sitting in the bathroom. Who knows?
Well, and speaking of brushing your teeth, how about putting a sticky note on your mirror? A reminder. to-
And to remind myself to review the day or what?
well, review the day, or I I've got a new perspective. I'm going to be smiling today. Whatever, put a smiley face.
Right.
Because those are all triggers for your brain to go, oh yeah, that's right. Yesterday I had a crappy day, but today I'm really going to focus on smiling and being gracious and polite, especially with ourselves,
Especially with ourselves. Thank you.
because then
That's
then we give it
huge.
to everybody else, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
so
So,
yeah,
yeah. No, I
yeah.
agree. I think again, anything we can do to break the
Hmm.
pattern,
Right.
and to do that, sometimes we have to kind of put things in front of us
Hmm.
that are
Well,
literally the pattern breaking things. Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
always in front of us? Our
A
cell phone.
phone. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Put
A
a
phone.
put a message on your phone, or put a picture on your phone that triggers your brain to go, oh, look at those beautiful flowers. Well, how does it make you feel? Oh, that's so pretty. It's so nice. Well, that's just a reminder of you can do that, when you go out into the public, or you can do
Right.
that with yourself or with your spouse, or with your animals,
No, I agree. I
But
do.
but it's like saying, here's a positive trigger for you. Here's a positive change
Right.
that you can do immediately.
Right. Right. And trust me when I say, and you don't have to trust me, you can trust the science, as they say.
Right?
Negative loops affect mood, relations, and brain health. Yikes. More
Yes.
recent research study supports this fact. Chronic complaining can actually shrink the part of the brain that is the key for memory and problem solving. It's called the hippocampus, if you like the brain pieces there.
Oh,
Chronic
wow.
complaining can shrink that part of your brain.
The little bit that I got, I better
That's
say.
what I'm saying. I don't have much left. Chronic stress elevates stress hormones, obviously, like cortisol, and
Right?
strain other parts of your body, but mentally, physically, and socially, social bonds, etc. So it's not just bad manners; it literally rewires your brain toward negativity. Good God, I need more brain. I don't need less brain. As I
Less.
get older, I don't need less. So there we go. All right. In the last 15 minutes and the last 2 points about some good positive ways to try to get out of this hole that we've dug ourselves, right? So practicing presence, again, our word for the day, and I didn't even write
Definitely.
that. Practicing presence and positive reframing can
Yes.
rewire the brain. Instead of giving energy to complaints, practicing a little bit of gratitude and mindfulness can build new neural pathways that favor resilience and optimism. Over time, you guide your brain away from default negativity towards seeing what is going right in your world, not the
Yeah,
other way around. Love that.
absolutely. Oh, yes, definitely.
We talk about that a lot, don't we?
We
About
do.
looking for the good stuff
Oh,
in
yeah.
your world rather than focusing on the negative stuff.
Right, absolutely. I like to call it gifts, all the gifts that you bring into your life. And then by doing that, you're also going to be giving it back to other people. So how good does that feel that you're doing it for yourself, yet you're also doing it for everyone that, you meet. Now, what they do with it, it's up to them, but you're still giving that gift.
Sure. And yeah, you don't it's not for you to worry about, because that might just cause more negativity, right? I mean, it's not for me to worry about if I'm nice to somebody, what are they going to do with it? It's
Well,
like,
that's
oh,
up
they
to
won't do
them.
anything with it. I'm just wasting my time. No, again, not for me to worry about.
No, you've done your job. You have given them a gift. You've given them, some positive energy. You feel good about it. Now it's up to them.
Right.
But you have done what, this program is saying, share, you know,
Right.
let it fly, be in that present moment.
Let it fly. I love that. Just
Yeah.
let it go.
Well,
Again, we're back to Frozen. Let it go.
let it go. Well, I do that. Like I'll be walking down the street, if I go into town, I'll walk down the street, I said hello to people, I'll hold
Sure.
the door, I just do, whatever just feels good to me because it feels good to me. And I hope it's going to feel good to them. Now, whatever they do with it, it's up to them. But I've done
Right.
what makes me feel good. And that just builds everything up.
Right. Right. I mean, you can't, and we say this all the time, you can't control what other people are thinking, but
Oh,
you might as well contribute to the positive energy of the world, of the
mhm.
universe, rather than the negative, because I mean, it, like you always say, it's going to flow out from you, from the
Mhm.
people you touch and all of that stuff, and who knows what's going to happen to it. But that's not important. I don't need to know what's going to happen. I just know that I'm 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 leaning toward the positive rather than the other way.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what keeps us healthy. I mean, you look at it, people that are upbeat and, engaging in different things and, feeling good, gosh, they live forever, That's a big part of being human is the attitude.
Yes. You know, it absolutely is. And any study of people who live to be 100, you will find that is that they have, they are grateful for every day, and
Hmm.
they look for ways to express that to
Yes.
themselves and others,
Hmm.
which really brings me to the last point here, which is kind of the bottom line to all of this, which is gratitude is the natural antidote to complaining. That's their phrase of the
Mhm.
blog there, which is, I love
Yeah.
that. Gratitude is the natural antidote to complaining. You cannot complain, and be grateful at the same time.
Yeah.
Sorry, physics won't allow it. You can balance your mind by noticing whatever you can. If you're stuck in traffic, yes, but you're also grateful for the car you're in, the song on the radio, the sunshine beaming down on you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So,
Yes.
as we have said, and as this blog post has said, there are things to be grateful for in
Oh,
every aspect of the day, no matter
yes.
what. No matter, I
Absolutely.
mean,
Hmm.
unless you're in the middle of the forest fire. I don't want to put it that way, but I'm just saying, you know, at the end of the day, you could say, "Whew, I got out of that."
Yes.
I'm glad I'm
Thank goodness.
that's good. Yeah, thank gosh. We haven't talked this week at all about yours truly going through his eye surgery.
Yes.
As we record this, it's a Tuesday morning. On last Thursday, so between the previous show and today, I had the repair surgery for this eyeball.
Yes.
And so, yes, thankful to all my friends, including Miss Vicki, who has been, asking how you doing, how's it going, sending you healing and all of that stuff. So, yeah, again, the gratitude is that thank you, it's over. I'm done with that. Now, is it 100%? No, not even close. I still have some work to do to recover and to, all of the things to heal and all of that.
Yeah.
But I can be in gratitude for the fact that after waiting 5 months,
Oh my gosh.
and if you listen to this show, you heard me complain about it probably every week. So now I'm rewiring. I'm rewiring that. I'm not going to say complaint, but whatever I had, call it a complaint. I'm rewiring that complaint that I had that, boy, my eye just doesn't work. It's messed up my pickleball game. I can't see a thing out of that eyeball. I still can't see a thing out of this eyeball, but now I'm on the other side of the recovery process where it should be actually getting better. And it is. I mean, you and I were
It
talking
sure
about before the
is.
show started that, things
It-
are, they had a little air bubble in there in the eye as part of the
yeah.
recovery process.
It looked good. It looks,
I know it looks fine. It
yeah.
looks fine.
Yeah.
And, I was talking about how I could see the level of the, air in my eye. It was
Yeah.
interesting. Like, I told you earlier, it's like when you were, when you go swimming in the pool and you open your eyes underwater, that's what it looked like through, it still kind of does through that eye, that
Yeah.
things kind of waver a little bit.
So you're swimming in the pool.
You know me, I love being in the pool.
Well,
So yeah, that's great. So literally that has been my bit of gratitude, that it's like, okay, I'm having fun swimming around in the pool for a while now and things are getting better. And, I'm on the way. I'm on the way toward. So my gratitude is not done, healed, fixed, 100% finished. Mine is in the process of doing the healing, doing the recovery, doing
yes.
the whatever. I said I got eye drops 4 times a day, whatever. Okay, every time I'm doing an eye drop, I'm like, ooh, I'm getting better every time. Awesome,
Yes, you
awesome.
are.
So, yeah,
And to be grateful that we have doctors that can do this. You know,
right.
you
All
know,
of the above.
yeah. And it's a little inconvenient, yet you're getting your eye back, which is
Right. Right. And
wonderful.
it's like you want to be blind for your whole life. No, I don't want to be blind for the rest of my life in one eye. So yes, I'm going to go through this process, and if it
Mhm.
takes 6 months, which it's going or more, which it will, okay, I'm willing to make that investment to have something.
Oh,
So
yes.
again, I heard myself say that, and it kind of sparked my brain to go, that's the way you might want to think about this, rewiring your brain away from the
Yeah.
complaining mode to the gratitude mode. It's like you're not flipping a switch. I'm not flipping a switch for this eye and all of a sudden I have 20/20 vision the morning after I had the surgery. No,
Right.
but it's better.
Yeah. Well, it's that process, and you're going through it, and you're present, and you're aware of it, and you're taking action on it.
The same way any of our friends and listeners can say, okay, I used to complain about this thing all the time.
Mhm.
And maybe I don't have a doctor, but maybe I had a friend who has told me, gee, Bill, you complain about this thing all the time. Maybe you want to look at that. Or maybe you just hear yourself.
Mhm.
A little self-diagnosis goes a long way.
Oh, it does.
So now you're not going to again, you're not like the eyeball, you're not going to heal it 100% overnight, but you can take steps to get the
Yes.
healing process going, to get the rewiring
Mhm.
process going, and all of that,
Yes.
so that in a few, I don't know, if it if it takes 6 months, if it takes a year,
Hmm.
is it worth having a better life? Is it worth having, you know,
Hmm.
is
Oh,
it
yeah.
worth being a lot happier in a year if it takes a year of work? I'd say
Yeah.
yes.
I'm saying yes for you.
I thank you. I think I know. I hear you. I hear you. I saw, and it's probably worth a whole show, but I'll just throw out the idea. I know we're coming to the end of the show, and I don't want to, start a whole new topic here. But I saw a video of a guy, some brain scientist. Again, we're
Oh,
kind of mixing science and personal growth here, but
oh,
he was talking about laziness. He was talking about laziness, but this applies to a lot of things. And he said laziness is a habit, and the habit is focusing on the work involved with going in a certain direction rather than focusing on the benefits of the goal itself.
oh.
And I'm like, what? Wait, what? And he said, all right, you want to lose weight? Good. Fine. Now, if I think about or worry about or am negative about the fact that that means I have to eat this way for 6 months in order to, I cut out all the things I love, or I'm whatever. I'm just making this up. But
Sure.
I can think about the work involved, or I can focus on, oh, I'm going to love it when I'm 25 pounds lighter and my body feels so much better and all of that stuff.
Mhm.
And when you focus on that sort of, when you focus on the result, the laziness, the procrastination, the negativity that are involved with the work,
Yep.
that's you're not thinking about that. You're thinking
No.
about this is the thing I want, and I'm worthy of moving towards it in a way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, that's a
And
whole other show. And now that I've thrown it
well,
out there, I've got to go do a little research on that.
well, it kind of is, but it's the same thing of being positive, looking, forward, being grateful.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all part of what we enjoy and
Yes.
being present. We started out with presence. Well, being present of I'm making these choices. I could grab, the potato chips, but I'm going to go for, the carrot sticks. And then celebrating that
Right.
I had a moment.
Right.
I'm going for the carrot sticks.
And rather than thinking about that small chunk of work, all right, work is with a diet, maybe not the right word, but that small sacrifice that I'm making in this moment, I'm thinking ahead to the goal, to the outcome, to the I'm going to love it when I'm 25 pounds lighter or
Right.
whatever that might happen to be for you. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to love it when my body has got a
Mhm.
few more muscles rather than the flab that it has now. Whatever. I'm just throwing that out. Anyway, that's another show for another day, and I think it's worth investigating more on that as
Yes.
we go. But yeah,
Yeah.
today, rewiring your brain so that you are a little less negative and a little more positive. And I think if we just have one word for that, it's the whole gratitude thing. It really is.
That was the word I was thinking, having gratitude, being thankful.
It
Hmm.
is. It just is. So we are thankful that you have joined us for this hour.
Yeah.
Our hour is almost over again. It always flies by. We always
Oh,
enjoy it. Final
it always,
thoughts, if any? I love the
I,
gratitude thing.
I do. I love the gratitude, and it's amazing to me. Like, we were talking about this. It's like I always think that it's like 15 minutes that we've been talking because it just flows and it's so fun and I enjoy it, and we get to, banter back and forth and help inspire, people that are out there listening to it because that's my joy, that's my passion, that's what I'm here for, is to hopefully inspire people. I don't have all the answers yet. I enjoy sharing what I do have. So,
Right. And I don't think anybody has all, well, of course they don't. I was going to say, nobody has all the answers.
no.
We're lucky if we have a couple of answers. But there are things we can do.
Hmm.
I mean, that's why they call it a practice, right?
Yes.
If you're in the spiritual space, you know the word practice. It means
Hmm.
I do these things every day. It's like I'm not great at it. I'm not an expert or a guru or I I haven't arrived anywhere yet. It's a practice. It's something I do every day. So if you can be mindful, if you can be present, if you can be in gratitude
Yes.
today,
Hmm.
practice that today, your life is probably going to be a little better. That's all.
Yep.
That's all we're looking for here. That's all we're looking for.
The other word that I heard is commitment, making a commitment to yourself for yourself. And by doing so, you're also inspiring other people. Again,
And
what they do with it is up to them, but you can be a symbol of, progress, of presence, of commitment, of shifting attitudes.
interesting that you bring up that word because it's come up for me in a couple of other places in life with my
Hmm.
little online business stuff, and the fact that I haven't gone to the gym in a couple of months, and I've used this I thing for an excuse, even though it's not really, but whatever. Even if you go out for a walk or ride your bike or whatever, commitment to do something. Anyway,
Hmm.
I don't want to get off the track. The commitment part of it is, yes, that's
Hmm.
big. And if
Yeah.
you can make a commitment to, like you said, even if I just put a little sticky note with a smiley face on my mirror to this,
Hmm.
and look at that every morning. Okay,
Right.
that's a good practice. That's a good start. Do
Right.
that.
Hmm.
And other things will come along to help you and support you on the way as you go.
Yes.
I think we'll leave it with that. And that is something that we've mentioned earlier in this very show, and that is the universe will do things to get your attention.
Oh, yes.
Right? Some that starts small, but then if you don't pay attention, then it ends up with a 2x4 across the back of your head. I
Get
mean,
creative.
not physically, but something big will happen to go, oh, wait a minute, I'm doing that thing again. On the other hand, or not on the other hand, but also, the
Hmm.
universe will also support you as you continue to do good
Oh,
things for yourself.
absolutely.
Good stuff will show up for you.
Absolutely.
Just saying. Check it out. Try it. What do you got to
Yeah.
lose?
And going back to having that presence of being aware of it, being open to it, and taking action on it.
Yes, for sure. For
Yep.
sure. All right. Awesome. Always a
Ah,
pleasure, Miss Vicki. If
it
somebody would like
is.
to get in touch with you for more information about the things that you can help with, how would they find you, please?
Call or text 239-248-0586 or email me at Vicki, Vicki, Wagoner, Wagoner, 53 at gmail.com.
Yours truly is findable on YouTube. Do a search for Bill's
Mm.
iPhone Tips. You'll find my help with your technology there and making sure you stay safe on the internet and figuring out your gadgets and gizmos and all that. So I know, right? All
Mhm.
of that, by the way, including the link to the blog post we talked about
Yeah.
today about negativity, will be in the show notes for this page, or for this
Mhm.
show, I should say. If you visit us at Facebook, do the search for the Practical Path Podcast, you'll find our
Mhm.
page, and those show notes are right there with the listing of the show as well. So,
Yeah.
you don't have to go digging through the podcast listings. They're right there on Facebook too. So awesome.
Yes.
Thank you, Miss Vicki. Always a pleasure.
Oh, thank you, Bill. I always enjoy it. We
I
always
like
have
it.
so much fun, and I hope and I feel that we are making a difference in someone's life.
I choose to believe that as well. That's right. We have gratitude for that we can be
Oh,
helpful and add to the positivity.
absolutely.
It's going to do it for this week. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you next week. I'm Bill Sklodowski.
Thank you. And I'm Vicki Wagner. And remember to always be your own best friend.